going to give you a live look outside as we peek in on Troy right there. Beautiful setting and a nice Christmas tree and all the lights. What's adding to that setting is a little bit of snow as folks are in the roundabout there on this Friday evening. Scattered snow showers in parts of our viewing area. Our team has been tracking this weather for several days and our chances for a white Christmas. A lot of folks looking forward to that and hoping that's what happens, Roberts.
And, James, it's still about 9 or 10 days out, so meteorologically it's a little difficult to be precise, but we can try. But first, let's take a climatological approach to see the odds of actually seeing some snow on the ground during Christmas. Now, we've been showing you this graphic. This graphic is from Climate Central. It's a national organization, and the data they use go from 1980 to about 2010, and that's a perfectly valid way to look at this. With that, the data that they show, it's about a 22% chance of actually seeing snow on the ground in Dayton. But I'm a little nitpicky. I'm about to show you why it's useful to have a local meteorologist and climatologist to dig into the data. I went back to 1948, so 1948 to 2021. And to start off, I saw the highest snowfalls, about 16 inches in 2004. You probably remember that one. But 3 times in the 60s, we saw snowfall, or at least snow depth, about 4, 5, and 8 inches. And in 1995, that's the year I got my Sega Genesis, 4 inches there on the ground. Now, if you take all that data into account, there's actually about a 26% chance of seeing an inch of snow on the ground. Again, not necessarily snowing, but snow on the ground Christmas Day. If you take in the odds for at least a trace of snow, less than an inch, the odds are actually a lot better. Now, again, this is the climate outlook. Now, what about meteorologically? Well, we're going to attempt to do that, and we'll explain it here in a little bit, and we'll show you the forecast of what could possibly happen this coming Christmas.
Yeah, thanks, Robert. We remember that snow, that big snow in 2004. I just looked at James. You remember that? Yeah, a lot of people watching remember that one.
I mean, it's looking more and more likely. The current trends are showing there will at least be snow on the ground. Now, earlier I talked about historically the chance for snow on the ground here in Dayton for Christmas, but meteorologically, it does look like there's a chance, in the words of Lloyd Christmas himself, actually. You're telling me there's a chance? Yes. There is a chance for some snow on the ground. Now, I'm going to get a little bit deep into the weather data here, so stay with me. I don't like to do this all the time. A lot of meteorologists might show stuff like this. I'll show it when it's warranted, and I think this is a good example. When we forecast the weather, a lot of times we'll use computer models as a tool to try and understand what's going to happen. It's not the only tool we use. One of those models you may have heard of is called the GFS model. It's the American computer model that we use. Let's take a look at what this model says heading into next weekend. You can see the chance for some snow approaching by 5 o'clock next Thursday, and you see some rain down toward Kentucky. As we move into the night and early morning on Friday, you see a lot of blue here across Ohio and Indiana, but while the rain stays a little bit down toward the south, meaning it's going to be a little bit warmer down toward the south. We head into the rest of Thursday and into Friday, you're still looking at some snow before it finally begins to fade a little bit Friday night. Now let's take a look at another computer model, very common one. It's called the European model. So we're comparing these two models to try and get an idea what's going to happen. Now you can see the European model keeps us a little bit wet heading into Thursday, warm enough to see rain. But you do see that snow line approaching by Thursday afternoon, and into Thursday we are expecting some snowfall. So the thing is, both of these computer models are predicting snow. One's predicting more rain first, but again, this is 9 or 10 days out. That's why they don't necessarily agree. We're leaning more toward the GFS, the model that is bringing some snowfall, because we do expect colder temperatures. So that's a little bit of a dig deep into what we're looking at meteorologically. These are the current trends now, what both computer models are saying. So we'll see. Right now, I can tell you the radar is picking up some flurries. We saw a little bit on camera earlier, and temperatures are certainly cold enough to see a few flurries. You can see more toward Columbus is where we're seeing some, but we still see a few across the Miami Valley. And over the next 24 hours, temperatures will certainly be cold enough, dropping to about 27 degrees in the morning, and then by the afternoon, look, barely, if at all, getting above freezing, although we'll see some flurries tonight. We'll see a few flurries moving into tomorrow, too. Let's take a look here in the short term for the futurecast. You can see tonight just some passing flurries. Looks like everyone has a good chance to at least see something. Accumulation is pretty unlikely, but you might see a spot here or two with a little bit on the grass. You can see here moving into Saturday morning it continues, and it kind of comes and goes, but we're still looking at least some passing flurries by Saturday night. So beyond that, Sunday, we're not looking at snowfall, but look at these temperatures. They stay in the 30s, lows in the 20s, and then the big cool down comes, and we are expecting snow likely on Thursday and Friday, and those temperatures are cold enough, it'll likely stay on the ground by the time we get to Christmas.
All right, sir, thank you. There's the